there, welcome to another Team Clueless Battle Report. I'm afraid the sun is shining quite hideously today, so we have a little bit of shadow on the board, but can't do much about that. So it's myself and Chris again, our second game of the day. This time we're playing an esoteric points value of 822, I think, because you made up one army and then just matched the other one to it. So today, Chris is bringing the Primaris Marines, which I glued together this morning. So he has got two squads of, now, can you remember the names, mate? Incestors, the basic troop choice ones. So they're like a tactical marine, but they can only take a bolt gun, but they get a better bolt gun. Intercessor squad. So he has set up two squads of those there with his captain in Gravis armour in the middle. He gives rerolls of 1 to both squads because they're close by, so that's pretty sweet for him. What else have you got, mate? You've set up, hiding back here, you have a Hellblaster squad. So these are 5 Space Marines armed with more powerful plasma guns. That seems useful. And down here he has this guy, which is a Primaris Lieutenant, which gives rerolls of 1 on wound rolls. So nice buffs going on. And then making up the last of his points over here, the 2 models at the back aren't being used, we have these 3, which are Inceptors. Each of them has 2 heavy bolters strapped to them.
Using them range, but vicious.
Using them like pistols, they're pretty smart, and they get to drop in later on. So I am taking an Ad Mech force. The painting on the table today isn't the best, as I put those ones together this morning, and the Ad Mech are just undercoated in most cases. So over here we have some basic dudes who are Vanguard. They've got no upgrades other than the Sarge, who has a arc pistol and arc maul, so good for killing vehicles. Unfortunately, Chris didn't bring any. We have this guy here, the Onager Dune Crawler, which is probably the most powerful model I've got on the table here. It's got a neutron laser attached to it, which is strength 10, AP -4, D6 damage, and if you roll a 1 or 2 on that D6, it counts as a 3. So really heavy gun on it, and a couple of heavy stubbers. Over here we have 5 Skitarii Rangers. They have 2 transonic arquebuses, which Chris is terrified of. Look at his face! I'd be terrified if I had that face too. They are sniper weapons, so they can target characters, and they're probably the most powerful sniper weapon in the game. They've got strength 7, 2 or 3 AP, and they do D3 wounds, so really solid. Backing those up, we have 2 Castellan robots. These ones are actually fully painted, the only painted models on the table. They have each armed with 3 phosphor blasters. Unfortunately, I could not afford to take the Datasmith to go with them, so I can't reprogram them mid-game, so they're stuck in protector protocols, while good, not as good as the shoot twice protocols at this point, I fear. Leading my force, I have a Tech Priest Dominus. He's just got the basic setup of a Volkite gun and a pistol. And then lastly, I have 6 Sikaran Infiltrators, ready to appear out of nowhere and harass Chris's backline. That is our armies for the day. Let's see what we're playing. So we are playing, coming over here, we're going to use the Maelstrom deck. We've got the cards set there. We're going to share a deck. We are playing Tactical Escalation. So at the start of each turn, we draw up to the number of cards equal to the turn number. And obviously we can discard 1 as usual. The objectives are placed 1 here, 1 there, 1 in the centre of the table, 1 over there, 1 in the wood there, and 1 underneath my Rangers. Okay, let's see how we get on.
Spec Machines, turn 1. And the Spec Machines advanced a little bit. You might not be able to see. There you go, it's a bit better. The Lieutenant moved up to give these guys their reroll 1s on wounds, which is actually quite useful. They shot an awful lot of long-range plasma. 30-inch plasma guns, a good thing. We're liking that. At the bad boy over here, because he's a dangerous threat to me, put 4 wounds on him. Mike saved 1, so still 3 wounds down. It's not, you know,
He's
enough.
got 11 total. That again next turn would reduce his ballistic skill and such. So
exactly, it's a start for 10. Problem is, we've got a lot of armour on both sides, and at the minute this army does not have a huge amount of anti-armour.
Basic army out the box doesn't have that many anti-armour guns. You've got your plasma guns, which are okay if you overcharge them, but they're dangerous.
The plasma gun, even strength 7, it's not bad against light armour stuff.
The Power Fist is probably your best anti-armour thing.
Indeed, but unfortunately, as Mike also mentioned to me pre-video, there's no transports for these guys at the moment, so they are hoofing it. So the 2 units of intercessors, moved up
Good memory.
and drilled a couple of the Hoosier flips. Who are they?
These are Skitarii Rangers.
Skitarii Rangers. They took a couple of Skitarii Rangers off the top of that building with masked bolter fire. 30-inch range bolters as well. Very nice. These guys jumped in. They jumped in surprisingly close to my units, but they wanted to get the re-rolls from the captain on their hits. And they put a lot of fire into him and only did 1 wound. He's got a hell of a save at the moment because he's in defence protocols. I really need to get up close to him, but I have to walk the board. We'll wait and see how that goes. So, not the most exciting turn 1, but I took a few models off the board. We'll see how it goes from on there.
Okay, AdMech turn 1. I basically opened fire. I drew objective 6 this turn, which is this one down here, underneath my Skitarii Ranger, so I used immense skill and scored that one. I then opened fire with the robots on Chris's Inceptors.
Yep.
Yeah. Wiped out a couple of them with those, and then my Icarus Dune Crawler, wanting to gather Thirst Blood, turned sideways and blew the other out the sky with his neutron laser. These guys with their rad carbines managed to take out one of the Incessors. Oh no, Hellblasters. The shadows from the super bright sun are really killing the accuracy of the camera here. Killed one of those dudes there. And that is my turn done. I gained First Blood and a victory point, so pretty good turn.
Okay, Attack of the Giant Mutant Spec Machines, turn 2. The Giant Mutant Spec Machines charge forward.
It's a better turn for you, I think.
I think I would call that a much better turn. I got the Defend Objective 4. Actually, my other objective is Big Game Hunter, so him. But I got a Defend Objective 4, so my lieutenant fell back and went, okay, I'll hold Objective 4. Whereas my Plasma Marines moved forward.
That is a better name than Hellblasters.
Yeah, they're Plasma Marines, let's not beat around the bush. They charged forward, shot the dudes.
The Skitarii Vanguard.
The Skitarii Vanguard, killing 3 of them, then charged into close combat and ate their faces. Quite impressively. This does unfortunately put them in firing line of this big bad boy here, but it also puts them in rapid fire mode of him. So it's a bit of a trade-off. They'd need to be within rapid fire really to be a threat to him. So as a trade-off, I'll take it. And I'm holding Objective 2 just in case it comes up. Over here, my boys moved up. This unit's made a break for it because we're trying to advance on them because they're much worse in close combat than they are. He is taking a cheeky sneak around the side because he wants to charge into them.
Yeah.
And all of the Rangers are dead. We shot them with both these units, wiped them out to a 1 man left, and he failed his morale check just now and died, run off, broke his ankle. Who knows? So that leaves still Mike's 2 most dangerous units on the board, but on the flip side, I've got a lot more opportunity to enhance
Yeah, I think
firepower.
I'm going to have to bring on these guys this turn.
These guys are going to come on
I need
and
the
start
numbers, really.
choppying. However, he hasn't really weakened my army that much, and whilst they're dangerous, they're not very survivable, so he's going to have to be careful or they are going to get deaded. We shall see. But the robots and the big neutron laser man are still there, so we'll see.
That they are. Adeptus Mechanicus turn 2?
Yes.
Yes. So I drew Secure Objective 2, or Defend Objective 2, slightly different than the old deck. This one you have to control the objectives for 2 rounds if you draw certain ones of them. So I need to control this one for 2 rounds, so I moved forward, wanted to kill them all, failed to do so. But my Dune Crawler's in range, just in case I did. And I had Secure Objective 1, which is looking better. Or hold Objective 1 again, so I need to hold this for 2 turns. So I'm deployed my infiltrators in a screen back there, opened fire on the 5 Incessors, who were inside there, killed 1 or 2. The robots over here fired with their ignore cover shots, killed 1 or 2, and then the infiltrators charged in, made my long distance charge, and killed just the final Primaris Marine there. So that was handy.
Well, there's one still left, you killed him.
Oh, is he still in there? Oh, balls, I didn't even kill him.
Yeah, there's one still there, he's still giving it a go.
I'm controlling the objective though, that's the important bit. Okay, and that was basically what happened this turn. Because we have so few models, small points games really do lack in number of units.
Here stands before you a broken man. Bless him. He thought his big giant monkey lord robot thing would stand the test of time. Unfortunately, these guys turned their plasma to superheat.
It's clearly a spider.
Monkey lord spider bots. They turned their weapons to supercharge and just eradicated him. They just hit plenty of times, punched through. Mike, for once, did not make a ton of invulnerable saves, and he died.
Yeah, the overheat was a top tactical use there.
Like, well, it was very important. I needed the extra damage.
Many people say, "Oh, I'll never use the overheat if it's just too deadly."
I needed the wounds.
You needed the wounds. The
And-
extra strength makes it actually good at killing vehicles.
It did. It pushed it into a 3 to wound as opposed to a 4 to wound. It gave me the extra damage. Did the job. Didn't roll a single one. They're happy as Larry. Over here, these guys, this unit turned around and fired into these guys, wiped out a few of them, and charged into close combat, hoping to do a bit more. Unfortunately, haven't quite done enough. And that's going to be an unpleasant combat because these little fellas are quite dangerous in close combat. Speaking of dangerous in close combat, the captain charged into this robot and has put an extra 3 wounds on him. He only hit once with his Power Fist Blaster Gauntlet thing, but did a good hit, got 3 wounds through. And I have obtained Objective 4 because he has been holding it for 2 turns.
2 objectives.
2 objective points. That is it. I've denied the witch, which is my objective 2.
I need my hat.
But we're still fighting over objective 1.
Yeah, you got more models there though. So
Indeed. So I'm holding him off at the moment, but those guys could do some significant damage.
If I kill a couple of you, because I'm closer to the objective.
Oh yes, if Mike can kill a few off, he could do
I
some
might
harm.
be able to still take that for the points.
Oh, sorry. What does
Oh,
that?
yeah.
Big
You got
game,
that as well.
big game hunter as well. Sorry about that. Yes. And so I scored both my objectives this turn. Mike hasn't scored any objectives this turn, and that one's looking increasingly unlikely for him. So I expect he might replace that.
Just
card.
remembered you should have had an extra objective because it was your turn 3. So you have defend objective 3, which is in the middle.
Oh, okay, I don't
It's
mind that.
unlikely.
Right, and that will be me done. Thank you.
Adeptus Mechanicus turn 3, and it is not going well. The captain is beating up all 3 of his assailants down here. I charged him with the Tech Priest Dominus because I didn't have anything better to do with him, and he's a bigger threat to the captain than anything else. But Chris put 3 wounds on him and left everything else alive. I put 1 wound back with my robots. Over here, Chris cut down 2 of my infiltrators. I managed to cut down 1 of his marines, but my infiltrator is wounded, so he's not long for this world. And that is what we have on the table, other than Chris has a Primaris over there, who is scoring victory points and is holding that objective there. And Chris is ahead on objectives. This turn I had 2 for taking and holding this one, never getting there, and 1 for holding the one over there, but just couldn't kill enough marines. So it's looking like Chris may win after the end of our next turn. Let's see. Okie dokie, it's the end of Primaris Space Marines turn 4, and we have called the game at this point. So Chris, over here you managed to beat down this poor dude, didn't you?
This one remaining Primaris in this unit charged in so he could attack first in the charge phase and managed to kill him in that phase, which freed me up to attack first over here as well. Took out the omniscient
Captain
dude.
took out my general, and at that point I conceded because my robots didn't. I did 1 wound to the captain, but
he can turn his full fury on them for the
they're not
next
going to win
turn.
that fight, and they're my only models left. So Chris wins. He was ahead on victory points as well because I just didn't have good cards.
You got
for
really
me.
sucky cards
Yeah.
towards the end. You got cards for everything I controlled.
Yep, that's the way the cards work though, and the cards are much better in a bigger game where you've got lots of units to move around.
With another turn or 2, I could have run over and taken 3 and got even more points, but there was no point to it.
Yep.
You just got really bad cards.
Okay, so Chris, what do you think of the new rules? Bit simpler to play?
A lot simpler to play, a lot more lightweight. It's still fairly tactical though, because the whole charge order thing.
Yeah, you see what I mean about that now?
It matters.
Yeah, it is really important what you do
can't-
there.
You can't just throw your units around the board and see what happens. So the movement is a lot more important, I think, and it has changed that order of close combat fighting has really meant there's a bit more to it than just.
Because previously, people with high initiative, like Eldar, they knew they would always go first.
Yeah.
And okay, they've got some tricks in the new rules that aid them in going first, but they don't always go first.
No.
And you can mitigate that by using the old command points.
Yeah, I used 2 command points to turn the tide of this fight.
Yeah, that's it.
Which was really useful, because otherwise I don't think I'd have held that. And that would have given you another objective point, which would have brought us closer.
That it would.
But yeah, even with your first blood, I got Warlord, so I'll probably come out alright on that one.
That's it.
Yes.
Okay, well, thanks for the game, and thanks for watching. We'll see everybody soon.